Today, the trade deadline has ended, so we will be ranking the top 15 trades of this NBA season, starting with
number one. The very first trade
number one
that we got is June 20th. Alex Caruso went to the Oklahoma City Thunder and Josh Giddey to the Bulls. And with this, we're not going to go too much into depth with some trades. Other ones we will. This one, I feel like we don't have to go too far into depth with it.
The first one's always a little tough.
It is.
Josh Giddey.
Shout out Josh. Shout out Alex. We are going to be ranking first OKC in getting Alex Caruso. From S tier all the way down to F tier, where do you think Alex Caruso and the Oklahoma City Thunder would rank grade-wise?
I think this one's a B.
Good serviceable player. Elite
Good facilitator. He can get to the hoop. He can knock down open shots. Very good defender. Pretty much just a nice glue guy to a really good team.
Got a guy to fit his role, and I'll let you go.
I will say this trade happened before the season started. So they've been on their separate teams now for the whole season up until the trade deadline. Up until this point, Alex Caruso has only played 29 games this season. Josh Giddey's played 48, and he averages more in every category except for steals per game. So Giddey's averaging 7 more points, 5 more rebounds, 4 more assists, 0.6 less steals, the same amount of blocks, and all higher percentages for Giddey this season. So if we put Caruso in B, Giddey would have to be A.
See, that's if you're grading it based off of what we see now.
Producing more.
So I get what you're saying, and it sucks because I don't want to look at the result of it now, just the impact from when we seen it initially, and it's like first thoughts. So it kind of sucks because obviously some of these players we haven't seen play with these teams yet because it just happened.
Mm-hmm.
But then other ones we have. So like by your metrics, Jordan, I do agree with that. But like if I'm just going off of bam, trade happens, I'm thinking, wow, Thunder got better. Bulls, they just meh. Like
the biggest reason is Josh Giddey's a ball dominant player, and he needs the ball in his hands to do what he does. To where in OKC, it's SGA's team, and although Josh Giddey got triple doubles, he was good for him. They needed someone to fit the role for that team, and Josh Giddey wasn't that guy, so they just kind of gave him up for a guy in Alex Caruso. I think both of these trades would fit in C tier for me.
I'm cool with that.
I'm cool with that as well. I can get with that.
I think it kind of helped both teams, but it wasn't like a huge needle pusher for either of them.
No. Especially looking at the Bulls now. Bulls are just still the same old Bulls. Didn't really push them over any hump at all. So we'll put them both here in C tier, and that'll move us to the next trade, to where it was a blockbuster trade when it first happened. You're like, this guy went for how many first round picks? Mikal Bridges goes to the Knicks, and the Nets get 5 first round picks in Bojan Bogdanovic, Mamadi Diakite, I don't even know how you say his name, and then Shake Milton. Obviously, those 3 players don't play a key role for the Nets really at all, but they got 5 first round picks for Mikal Bridges. So first, Knicks, grade for the Knicks getting Mikal.
Look, let me ask you this. When looking at this trade, are we looking at just what Mikal does for the Knicks, not necessarily what they gave up?
Well, everything. Okay. Because if you're just grading what the player is doing, you would put the Bulls above the C tier, I assume.
Okay. So this one's a little tough for me because, hear me out. First, you hear 5 first round picks and you're like, that's crazy. The Browns gave up 3 for Deshaun Watson. But NFL first round picks and NBA first round picks are not created equal. A lot of times in NBA drafts, once you get past the 15th guy, that lottery area, you're kind of going downhill from there. So for the Knicks to get a 3-and-D guy I give it a B because Mikal Bridges is a fringe all-star caliber player. Really good basketball player. Great on defense, super long arms, active in passing lanes,
Good
can steal
shooter.
the ball, can shoot threes. Good shooter, yeah. The 5 first-round picks doesn't really move me because I'm going to be honest, they're going to be in the playoffs every year. So that pick every year is going to be in the high 20s, possibly even 30. So giving up 5 of those, yeah, that sucks. But if you go and look at all of the last 5 picks of the last 5 drafts, I'm sure you can find a really good player in there, but the odds of hitting that player every time is kind of slim. So I don't mind the first round picks there.
You don't
think
it's crazy a little bit of an overspend?
Yeah, 5 is crazy still.
And I mean, the whole trade itself, of course, they got Mikal, Keita Bates Diop, and then they got a 2020 second round pick. The Knicks did. And the Nets, besides the first round picks and the players, they got another second round pick and an unprotected pick swap in 2028. So
it's a lot.
But that's besides the point of it a little bit. Those other players really don't mean much when it comes to it's really for Mikal.
It was Bojan and 5 first round picks for Mikal Bridges.
Not even. Did Bojan?
Other names in there.
I don't think Bojan's even played yet, has he? Not a key factor, at least I don't think.
No, but essentially it was all right. Even then, it was 5 first round picks.
That's what I'm saying. It's basically 5 picks.
Throw-ins to make it work.
And we gotta see what they do with those picks as well, because what the Texans did with the Browns picks was amazing, but not everybody does well with these picks.
No,
you know what I mean. So they miss.
It all depends on where they end up too. So, we'll see how that goes. I need, at least for the Knicks, you said a B tier, a B grade for him. Yeah. B grade. We'll throw Mikal in a B grade. What about the Nets getting 5 first round picks for Mikal? Eventually, Mikal, you kind of knew was going to move on too.
I'm going to be honest. 5 first round picks for Mikal Bridges. I think that they low key won that trade. That could even be arguably an A.
I gave it an A. You got 5 first round picks for the 5 years. For the next 5 years, you can build your future. You could take those picks and trade them for a proven all-star, or you can try through the draft to build a team. So if you look at what the Oklahoma City Thunder did when they made that trade with with the Clippers.
Yep.
When they got SGA and look at what they've done with it.
Just Paul George, and they got all those picks SGA, and they've
built this team. Chet, SGA, Jalen Williams. So if they can emulate, what'd you say?
Dorcher Chamber.
The Dorcher Chamber. Listen, one of the best perimeter defenders in the league, if not the best. If you look at that and say if they do 50% of that, they still did pretty well.
Yeah. If you look at the 5 first round picks they got and look at the rest of the players that got traded throughout the entire season, those 5 first round picks could have landed you anybody else that got traded this year.
Mm-hmm.
If they wanted any other person that was in a trade, 5 first round picks would have gotten you that, including the last guy we will get to.
Yeah. Won't be the last guy. He'll probably be in the middle of the pack, but that guy probably could have got for 5 first round picks at least if Mikal went for it.
10.
But obviously, if the Knicks somehow end up winning the championship and Mikal being a really good role player and a key player for him, it moves up, obviously. So, but for right now, believe him at B.
Are we ranking
the Nets draft Cooper Flag? They're going to look like an S tier.
Are we ranking this based on how they've performed or just pure shock factor when we saw it?
It's totality of what
happened. This is how much better this team instantly got.
So
you might think that, hypothetically speaking, somebody might think Caruso to the Thunder would make them 10 times better. He hasn't produced this season though, so
we're ranking off the knowledge we have right now. So obviously we're ranking it based on what they have done so far and everything they've got. Now when it comes to the recent trades the past week, it's kind of predicting what it's going to turn out to.
Gotcha.
But we'll move on to a guy that got traded on draft night. Me and Donte watched this guy in person lose to Oakland and Jack Golke. We got Rob Dillingham. Sure.
Dillingham.
he gets traded from the Spurs to the Timberwolves, where the Spurs get a 2030 top 1 protected pick swap and a 2031 unprotected first round pick. So this one kind of shocked a lot of people because guess what? The Spurs didn't have a point guard, and they drafted one and then gave him up. Also, so far this year, Dillingham's been all right, but he's a rookie. But Timberwolves aren't as good as what people predicted this year as well.
And they traded him for a 14-year-old and a 13-year-old.
Obviously, yeah. But we don't... Rob could be really good in the future. We have no clue. It's his rookie season. He's with Ant, who is going to have the ball majority of the time as well. So it takes a lot of time away from Rob and doing what he does best in facilitating. I don't have a grade in mind at the moment, but I think it's from the potential, I want to give it a B to a C. I think we just need to see more. That's something that we really don't know yet.
I gave it an A.
You give it an A? You like Rob over there?
Well, you know he's a Kentucky boy.
I'm a Kentucky guy first off, so there's always bias there. They traded 2 future picks. The Timberwolves are going to be in the playoffs every year.
What's Rob doing, by the way, Jordan, if you're able to look that up as he's talking?
I have it.
So Rob isn't having a phenomenal year. He's played a couple games. He's been G League and stuff like that. I'm going forward. Rob Dillingham is a Lou Will type dude. He's a microwave. He's one of those dudes that if he's not a starter, he's going to be your 6th man, and you're going to look up and he has 40 points. And you're going to be like, damn, this dude didn't even start and he gave you 40. I think he's that caliber talent. Not all rookies pan out immediately, but you gave away a late round pick, 2 of them. But when you're in the playoffs, those picks don't matter. For an early round lottery guy, I feel like you won that trade, and that's definitely, I give it an A for what they gave up for him.
So can I ask, first of all, what is a top 1 protected pick in the NBA? I'm not.
So if the Timberwolves get a first round pick, like they get the first overall pick, the Timberwolves keep that pick. If theirs ends up being the first overall pick, they can have a top 3 protected. They can have a top 5, a top 10 protected. Okay. That's a weird thing that they have in the NBA, but they can have protected shit like that.
So anything outside of it being the number 1 overall
could be
pick,
2.
The Spurs get.
Yep.
The Spurs will have those 2 picks.
Yeah. I doubt the Timberwolves are going to get the first overall pick unless somehow, some way, the draft lottery, they have an average year and they somehow end up getting the first pick with a 1.4 chance. But
or
who knows?
Everybody on the team gets hurt.
Yeah.
For 1 season.
But that is also, like you said, that's 2029. It's a 2030 pick and then a 2031 pick. So that is farther down the line. You never know. Ant might not even be there anymore.
Right. I mean, that's why I gave it an A, though. It's like, you don't know what the team is going to be in 5 years, but getting a dude that can help you win now and giving away a potential future asset that could be a Bronny James or it could be a Cooper Flag. You can't grade it yet because you don't know what it's going to be. So for them giving out a pick in the last 5 years and a trajectory of the team looking like it's going to be going up, I have to give it an A. But if you guys end up going B, I don't disagree with that either.
Personally, I would go B.
What I do want to say is the stats. Dillingham this season, I know it's 1 year. He's only played 26 games, so he's actually played, I believe, less than
half.
Alex Caruso. He averages 5 points a turnover, or 6 points a turnover, 2 assists, and a rebound a game. Career high of 19 points and 8 assists. So he obviously hasn't done a ton this season.
That 19 and 8, how many minutes did he play?
Yeah, that's
so
what
they
I'm
were
wondering.
different games. Those are just career highs.
Okay, I thought it was in 1 game.
How many minutes does he average? I'm guessing 19, maybe
11.
Okay, yeah, so less than what I thought.
Yeah,
I'm cool with
11 minutes.
I'm cool with going in B right now just because you don't know yet, but we're also projecting here.
Yeah, his so actually I did lie to you. His 19 and 8 game was in the same game. I was looking at career highs, not at the game stats. In that game he had 23 minutes. He had one foul, 4 turnovers, 19 points, 8 assists.
So you see what I mean about the micro? 4 turnovers is bad. It's an NBA. It's gonna happen. LeBron gets 8 assists and 8 turnovers. You don't say. Hey.
And his plus minus was plus 23.
Oh, wow. So that wipes out the 4 turnovers. Plus 23 plus minus is amazing.
And you
LeBron
don't know.
lives in the negatives.
The
So
passes
that's what
might
I
have been
mean,
on
though.
point, and they could have dropped it out of bounds. So,
But like that's what I
shot.
mean. In 23 minutes, he gave you 19 and 8. Like
Yeah.
he's a microwave, bro. Like
Alright,
that
Jordan.
dude gets hot. And he makes
this
it
is on
happen.
you. I'm going
I will
B.
say-
Donte's going
I
A.
will say the game right after that, he put up 18 minutes, only 5 less, had 7 points, 4 fouls, 2 turnovers, and 7 assists.
Rookie, but I expect.
Yeah, absolutely, and a plus minus of literally 0, dead even.
Didn't hurt the team, didn't help the team.
Nope. I think just right now, because we haven't seen enough of him, a B tier would be cool.
Behind Mikal.
But obviously, it's like a B could be an A.
So you putting above Mikal or behind Mikal in the Knicks? I'm personally putting it behind.
I think I'm putting it behind too, just because we know what Mikal can do.
I agree. For the Spurs, they just got that 30 pick swap and that 2031 unprotected first round pick. The graphic on here you guys see is wrong. It says 32. It's a 31. Where'd you put that?
B.
C? B?
I'm cool with that being right with them, yeah, because you don't know if. I
was
mean,
gonna say C,
realistically,
but
the
we'll
Timberwolves
run
are
with it.
probably going to be a playoff team, and it's going to be a late round pick. Obviously, there's like the hope that they suck, so you get a better pick, but they don't suck too much, so they don't win the lottery.
Sounds good.
I
Well,
got to give it a C. But
what?
that's just
The
me.
picks? I'm cool with C. I said C
kinda
originally.
agree with that, yeah.
I said C. So if you say C, we're gonna go C with that Spurs one.
See, it is.
We'll move on to the first 6-team trade in league history, to where basically what happened: Klay Thompson trade and sign to the Dallas Mavericks, and Golden State basically is getting back Buddy Hield and Kyle Anderson. Not the first time you'll see Kyle Anderson here tonight as well. So
We're rating Kyle Anderson twice.
maybe 3, but I think it's only twice.
That's a crime, bro. We're
I think
only
it's
rating
twice.
Kyle Anderson once, bro. He
He's-
sucks.
Well, he's
How
in it
many
again
times-
eventually.
Is Dennis Schroeder in here?
Dennis
We should
Schroeder's
put all of
actually.
these trades.
We can rank him separately. I'll put him in post video. We have him 0 times on here because it was never really a big trade for him to go anywhere. But shout out to his quote.
They said his real estate agent got to be a millionaire by now.
So we did talk about Klay Thompson originally when this happened. I was not a big fan of Klay going to the Mavericks. Didn't think it was going to work out very well. Thought he was inconsistent, and I think he still kind of proves that at the moment. If you just compare him and Buddy Hield at the moment, I think Klay is a better shooter. Buddy Hield younger, but you can't really say Buddy Hield's playing better defense because that's not what he's known for at all.
And that is obviously one thing out of the statistics that you will never be able to pull is
defense.
the defense, if how they're playing on defense. Yeah, it's not really
So- They
I
have
think
like
it's measured
defensive
outside of
ratings, but it's an advanced stat you have to like look for. Lower number the better, higher number means you're worse at defense. It's like defensive win shares or something like that. But personally,
a comparison if you want that.
run it down real quick for us.
Buddy Hield has played 50 games this season. Klay Thompson 44. Klay averages 2 more points, 0.3 more rebounds, 0.4 more assists, 0.1 less steal, and 0.1 more block. Buddy Hield's overall field goal percentage is literally 0.003 higher than Klay's. Klay shooting 41.1%. Buddy Hield is shooting 41.4%. So actually
What about from 3
3%.
though? Majority of their shots come from 3.
Klay is shooting 2% higher than Buddy Hield from 3, shooting 38.9. Buddy Hield's shooting 36.9. Free throw, Klay shooting 8% higher. And yeah.
So pretty comparable when it comes to the two. I was just never a big fan of Klay this age in his career. To be honest, Klay going to the Mavs is a C for me. And
if
these
we
are a
go
lot
to
of Cs.
totals, if we go
That's right where I had
to
it.
totals, Klay has scored 8 more points throughout the season.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
really
I know.
don't mean too
And
much to me, to be
rebounds,
honest.
7 more assists. 4 more blocks, 7 less steals, and 3 more turnovers.
Now, Buddy
Would've-
Hield to start the season was
here's-
going off.
Here's a relatively big difference between the two. Buddy Hield has 36 more fouls than Klay.
It don't matter either.
He's more active on defense. I'll tell you that's the reason why.
36 is a lot.
Not over a span of half a season though. I don't think so. That's like one more a game than Klay.
Yeah, it could literally be one more game. Like they've played 36 games.
Yeah, at the time, I thought it was a really good trade for the Mavs. I thought that having just a spot up shooter to go with Klay and Kyrie, or to go with Luka and Kyrie,
Yeah, until you only got
was
Kyrie.
gonna help. Yeah, well, we haven't seen him without Luka, but
Well, we kind of did.
yeah, a little bit, I guess. We've
I
seen
mean,
him for a while without Luka because he's been hurt.
He recently just shot 1 for 10, so shout out Klay.
Yeah,
I vote C.
I'd be cool with a C.
Looking at it now, we got 4 and C. That's Caruso, Giddey, Spurs, and Klay Thompson.
Yep.
Warriors get Buddy Hield, Kyle Anderson, and they keep a lot of their fucking money by not paying Klay Thompson. Jesus.
I give it a D.
You think that's worse?
Listen,
I think it's a better trade for them because they save on money, and they didn't lose in production.
it only helps if you do something with it though. And the problem is like obviously we've seen what they just did with it, which I also think is not a good decision. But I'm going off of what they've done so far this season. They've been less than middle of the pack. They're not even in the playoff race right now. I think they're 9th in the West, maybe. So it's like
playing.
They didn't get better. They got money off the books. Good job. But Buddy Hield started the season really hot, and then he got really cold really fast.
Yep.
And then Kyle Anderson, he's a PP. He's just not good to me.
Yeah, no, I agree with that one. But I think they're in the same tier level then.
I can do that. I'm okay with that. I personally would have it in D, but I'm not gonna be like, no, it's not C.
Because I would rather be Golden State in that situation because Klay's not who he is. He might have games like it, but he's not going to consistently be like that.
And that's the thing. If I knew we were going to have Luka all year and you got a dude who could spot up and Luka's going to be healthy, these are all what ifs. But I like it though. He don't have to do nearly as much with a Luka as he may have had to do with Steph at times. But we've seen it not pan out. So
and we also said what's the biggest thing on when they signed Klay? Originally known for his defense, not anymore. That team was going to be a big defensive liability, especially getting rid of Derrick Jones Jr. and players that helped their defense over there.
Right.
I will say too, I know it's kind of going back to the Klay Thompson Buddy Hield thing. Buddy Hield's last 5 games, he has 2 games over 10 points. Klay Thompson, outside of his 1 for 10 game, every other game has been higher than 12 points.
And guess what? He's been the number 1 or number 2 guy for those times that he's been playing though. That's the big difference.
For sure. But realistically on the Warriors, where would you put Buddy Hield at 3?
Like as a go-to guy?
Where's he rank on the offense?
I would have put him 4. I would have put Steph, Wiggins, Kuminga, then Buddy Hield.
Yeah, fair.
When Klay was going to be your number 1 or number 2 guy for most of the time because Kyrie's in and out.
I was just playing devil's advocate with the last 5 games. Kyle Anderson's last 5 games, he also has a game over 10 point.
That dude, we
Just
exclude him. Exclude him.
He sucks. He sucks.
We'll put it. I'm cool with putting it in C or putting both.
Yeah.
I'm cool with putting it in C. Do we want to put Caruso in D? Do you want to put Caruso in D because he really hasn't done anything over there anyways?
If we're not going off of just the projection of what we thought and what we've seen so far.
We've seen so far. Okay,
that's
Josh.
What I was lobbying for when I was bringing up the stats on the year. Josh Giddey has been a better player for the Bulls.
Well, he was the first one we ranked, so we hadn't.
It was hard.
Yeah. That's what I was lobbying for, though, is that the Bulls technically won the trade because Giddey has outperformed Caruso this season.
Yeah. So we'll move on real quick. We got now this guy gets traded.
He was traded. We talked about this the other day. He was traded. Remember, we couldn't remember if he was traded or signed?
Yes. He was traded, The Kings land DeRozan in a 3-team sign-and trade to where, the Kings get DeMar, the Spurs get Harrison Barnes, and the Bulls get Chris Donte and 2 future second-round picks from Sacramento and cash considerations. First, Sacramento and DeMar DeRozan. Before, exclude that they have Lavine, exclude that they just got their big man as well. This was a terrible, terrible matchup for their roster, and I mean, we've seen why, because De'Aaron Fox left. He doesn't fit the system between De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis when they played. I think that's a D. In my opinion, I think it was a terrible fit.
Listen, it's crazy calling a all-star.
He's a great player.
Landing on your team a D, but like I'm big on fit. And there's another guy we're going to talk about who just got paid. Let's talk about fit again. I'm with you though. I just don't think DeMar DeRozan fits with this team like at all. You got a De'Aaron Fox who loves to push the ball, and like at the end of the day, the worst shot on a court is a long 2.
And that's all he shoots.
You either step back and shoot a 3, or you go for a layup. A long 2 is the worst shot on the court. I'm with you on a D. DeMar DeRozan's great in his own right, but he just doesn't fit with that team.
Cool. Jordan?
I agree.
Shout out DeMar. I think one of the only players in NBA history to have back-to-back games with game-winning shots. So shout out DeMar on that part. Did it with the Bulls. I'm going to put
DeMar DeRozan in the same ranking as Alex Caruso.
I am going to put him ahead of him, though. I will do that.
I don't think where you put him within the thing matters. It's a D tier no matter what.
For the Bulls and Chris Duarte and 2 second-round picks and cash, I'm going to put that in F because the Bulls have been fumbling their trades, and we'll eventually talk about them a little more. So I'm not even going to use your guys' takes on that one. I'm just going to run right past that one.
Yep.
Then we got Westbrook to the Nuggets after a Clippers and Jazz trade to where the Jazz get Westbrook. Or no. Well, the Jazz did get Westbrook. Eventually, he went on to Denver. So think of it as Denver getting Russ and the Clippers getting Chris Dunn. Now, Russ for the Nuggets. Where do you think that lies? I think it's good. I didn't think it was going to be good. Turned out
It's really good.
He's shooting a better percentage he has in the last couple of years. Kind of, not want to say revitalized his career, but he's gotten better, and he's playing a really good position in that roster and in that scheme. So I like a B as well.
So is
first class service for Donte.
Essentially a 3-team trade without it being a 3-team trade?
Yes. And it was a buyout.
Yeah, it was a buyout.
That's what I was thinking.
It's like Carmelo when he went to the Hawks, and he never played for the Hawks. You know what I mean?
So
got traded there, bought out.
Denver
like
didn't
Ben Simmons
have
might
to do anything to get Russ, right?
Nope, they just got him.
They weren't the ones that bought him out.
They just got him.
They didn't give anything up for him. That might be an A. They didn't have to give anything up.
No, and it just added to the roster. I don't mind A.
Now, does that really fit our rankings? Because technically Denver didn't trade for Russ? No. But since they didn't have to trade for him and he's in the rankings, that might be an A, bro. They gave up nothing and got Russell Westbrook.
Fuck it. We'll throw him an A for right now.
Now, if we're talking about the Jazz getting Russ, F.
Yeah, it's not the Jazz getting Russ. I did it as like Nuggets getting Russ out of that trade.
Yeah.
In the comparable to it, you got Chris Dunn going to the Clippers. Chris Dunn, doo-doo guy. He just played. All right. I think it's F or D. I'm not a big Chris Dunn guy.
Put him in the F tier. He doesn't do much anyway. I miss it. Did we put Russ in A or did we keep him in B?
We'll put him in A.
I'm cool with it. Okay.
We'll put him in A.
Chris Dunn in F, I'm also cool with.
Just strictly because they had to do nothing to get him. There's a lot
of Kentucky guys on this list.
If they gave up nothing, like if they gave up a little bit, maybe a random like second round draft pick for us, then I'd be like, all right, maybe a B.
That's still second rounds don't mean cheat. Yeah.
Tia. You didn't put Jimmy on here?
Jimmy is on there.
Yeah, he was on here.
Where?
And I'm gonna let this video go. Trust me.
God.
I got you, brother. It looks weird, don't it?
He blends right in with the Golden State logo.
No, mine was stopping at Luka. Like I kept hitting swipe, but it wouldn't let me go past Luka.
So we'll move on here. The seventh trade we got might be an S tier. We got the Knicks landing Karl Anthony Towns to where Minnesota gets Julius Randle, and Donte DiVincenzo, also a 2025 first round pick. This one, a top 13 protected. That is Detroit's pick. So Detroit might keep that.
Hey, the Hornets get an S for this, bro. The Hornets get an S.
They just get draft compensation.
Draft compensation and gave nothing up.
I mean, that's kind of like that's like the Jazz with Jalen Hood and a couple draft picks. I mean, obviously they're not in this one, but
they're like, hey, I'll take it.
Is this an S tier for everybody?
No.
All teams involved?
No,
not the
Timberwolves. Timberwolves is like a C. D maybe.
I give it a C.
Like it might be
fringe.
So we all good on Cat S right now?
Yeah.
We'll all go S for Cat. I mean, he's added to their roster.
What you guys were saying was just you kept saying S, S, S. I thought you meant the whole trade.
Oh no. The Julius Randle thing obviously doesn't fit, and we heard about Ant and like a little bit of locker room problems. You see it on the floor. Julius Randle we've seen on the floor be like a nuisance in a way to his own team, to where bad energy, not trying. If he's not getting the ball, he's throwing a hissy fit. I thought DiVincenzo was going to be better. He didn't really live up to what he was doing in New York. I'm cool with C or D with this one. Obviously, they still got good players. It's just not working out for him right now.
Yeah, I like that. I like C as well. I think you're good with that. Not D. I'm going to go C just because Donte DiVincenzo, he hasn't performed as well. Randle hasn't performed great, but they're still really serviceable dudes.
And I'm assuming they're not going to get that first round pick. So I'm just thinking of players here. Jordan, C then?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
All right. We'll throw them in the top of C just because they have more star power.
Shake Milton again.
This one we can go by decently quick. We got the Los Angeles Lakers getting Dorian Finney-Smith and Shake Milton, while Brooklyn gets D'Angelo Russell, Maxwell Lewis, and 3 future second-round picks in 27, 2030, and 2031. First, you got the Lakers with DFS and Shake Milton.
Call me crazy. I gave it a B.
Dorian Finney-Smith is the reason, not Shake Milton. Dorian Finney-Smith is the reason for this one.
Yeah, good defender. Can shoot threes. He's just one of those dirty glue guys that's just going to do whatever you need him to do. I think that's, and it's about what they needed. They don't need points. They don't need a scorer. They need a dude who can just do the dirty stuff, and I think he's that good dude.
Yeah, I'm personally cool with B. Jordy? All right, we'll go B.
Let's rock and roll.
We'll go B with that one. Nets getting D'Angelo Russell and Maxwell Lewis with 3 second-round picks.
D.
Yeah, it doesn't mean much to me. I'm cool with D or F,
Sounds
to be honest.
To B, but it's a D.
I gave it a C.
I don't think it's.
Second-round picks.
I think DeMar DeRozan is a better player than D'Lo and 3 second-round picks, whatever they're going to turn into be. In my opinion, I think it's on the same tier.
But they also have 5 first-round picks. Imagine the trades they can make.
Yeah, but
they got 8 picks.
I agree. But this trade in general, not what they did throughout the whole season. We're not adding it all together. This is the separate trade. Because D'Lo, I feel like, is not going to stay there. I don't feel like D'Lo's going to stay.
No, he's not, probably not.
That's it. I'm remixing the video, grading the Brooklyn Nets' entire NBA season this year.
We'll throw him in D here, quick then. Then we'll move to the blockbuster trade that shocked the world at midnight. Donte was sound asleep like a baby, naked in bed. But
and me and Derrick were both
literally naked
together, looking at our phones, going, "What the fuck?"
We thought it was fake. Everyone thought it was fake. NFL players, NBA players, everyone.
Over Discord, not in person, naked, by the way.
I thought it was fake when you sent it to me in the morning, and I seen it with my own eyes. I turned on ESPN, and I was just like, "How did they get this fake story?"
We got Luka to the Lakers and Davis joining the Mavs. We're not going to grade the Jazz. If the Jazz, they got everything for free. S tier, shout out you. But
yeah,
besides Danny Ainge, if you're talking about Danny Ainge, he disagrees with it.
C tier on the Jazz, they had to eat a contract.
They weren't going to do anything else with that money, so I don't think it matters much. I guess I don't know.
Hey, do you have a tier above S for Luka?
No, but we can put him above Cat, and I think everyone kind of
He
knows.
is definitely above S. For the people who were complaining about scheme and fit, can Luka play with LeBron and stuff? That's not the point. When LeBron's done with the Lakers in 2 years, you now have a 27-year-old that's your franchise cornerstone.
Yeah,
simple.
I seen a tweet that said, "So what are the Lakers going to do when Luka retires and LeBron needs more help?"
I did see that when they said, "What are they gonna do to get LeBron help?" Luka retires, and it was Luka with a gray beard. That was funny.
Yeah.
Shout out, Dashy
Realistically,
on.
let's move everybody else down. Let's make Cat an A, make everybody else a B. Just move everybody down one line, and Luka get his own category up there.
I can make it just a Luka category for you guys, but I'll get my chance to always shout out Optic Gaming. That was Dashy's tweet. Player on Optic Gaming. Shout out Dashy. The tweet that you guys saw.
Shout out to you, Dashy.
So yeah, we're gonna Luka's at the top. Anthony Davis,
That's
though.
still a trade that when I look at how it went down, I'm still confused. Hey, remember those 5 first-round picks we were talking about?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they probably got 10 for
The
Luka.
5 first-round picks that are currently in A tier right now.
Yeah.
How many first-round picks did the Mavs get for the generational talent in Luka Doncic?
They got 1.
Oh, it was 1, not 0. Sorry. Yeah, it was 1.
2029. Lakers do not have a back-to-back pick coming up in the next how many years till like 2034. And then the NBA you can't.
Price.
Yeah, you can't trade back-to-back picks in the NBA. That's a weird rule, but that's a rule in there. But honestly, for Anthony Davis and Max Christie, a first-round pick, I'm gonna say they have to win it now. If it doesn't turn into anything, it's an F. If they don't win a championship, it's an F.
Call me crazy.
Mavs?
Call me crazy. It's a B for the Mavs.
You're projecting them. What do you? So no. Why is it a B? What do they have to do to make it a B in my
Okay. They
process?
have to do nothing to make it a B because Luka at his best, okay, leading the league in points, was second in MVP voting, I'm pretty sure. Got them to the finals and they lost. That was his peak at the time.
Yes.
Okay. So if that was
24
the best
years
you're
old.
going to see, that's what you're going to get. Okay. Now, Luka's conditioning is bad. His weight is bad. He's overweight and he's starting to get hurt a lot. Okay.
And
then, hold on. And then he's about to get a supermax of $325 million that you have to pay him. You are paying. You can shake your head no all you want.
No, he's not eligible for it anymore. Is what I was saying.
No. I'm talking about the Mavericks.
Yeah.
That's why you get rid of him, because the Mavericks, we're going to have to pay him $225 million. Having that much cap per year and one player limits who else you can sign. So if you can't have a team that was as good as that team that you made it to the finals with, to have people take cheaper deals, buy in, and play above their contract level while paying him $80 million a year, that's the best you're going to get. I get why they moved on. I don't agree with it, but you got a first rounder, you got another perennial all-star, superstar at that, and a good shooter. I don't think they did that bad. The worst part was the fact that they didn't put it out there to the public to say who wants them. But for what the situation was and what they got, I don't think it's that terrible.
Now they have no future. They got a 2-year span to win it. They got a 2-year span to try to win something here. And I mean, that first round pick's in 2029. Luka's going to be what? 29-ish? I don't know.
How old is he now? 25?
Yeah, he's 25. That's in 4 years, so 29.
Oh, yeah, he'll be 29. Sorry.
I doubt that the Lakers are going to have a top 10 pick then. They might. He might just be him all by himself.
I was going to say, I mean, LeBron ain't going to be there no more. So when it's just him and Austin Reeves, it might be.
Yeah, Austin Reeves is going to get booked out here soon.
They ain't going to have no first round picks. They ain't going to have, the team ain't great now.
No, but they also have a future. The Lakers have a future. They have a plan.
No, the Lakers did amazing because you have a superstar that you traded for.
I agree.
Your plan.
And the Mavs have nothing after 2 years.
You traded for...
In my opinion, they have nothing after 2 years.
I don't even think it's an argument.
Anthony Davis can still be a very productive player past 33.
But he ain't going to be a Luka. He ain't going to carry you to the finals. I mean, we've seen Anthony Davis in his prime What was he able to do? Nothing. We seen Kyrie when he was the number one option. What was he able to do? Nothing. I don't think those two together past their prime is going to do anything either. I don't think they're going to make it to the finals.
What are we going to say this year if the Mavericks finish with a better record than the Lakers?
Doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't mean anything to me because the Lakers have still a future. Obviously, it's a little different because Luka was already still playing on the Mavs and giving them wins and shit. Same thing with AD, I guess, with the Lakers. But the Mavs only win this trade if they win a championship with AD on the team, of course, or with.
I don't think so because I don't think they win one with Luka either.
I do want to put in.
No one thought he was going to make it to the finals last year.
My opinion, Donte saying B. I don't mind that in terms of player. If you just look at on paper, the trade that happened. I'm voting for D.
Me too.
Because the GM of the Dallas Mavericks,
Nico,
did not talk to the head coach
anybody
at all.
He didn't talk to anybody.
He called one person. You know who he called? The owner of the Mavs. And he said, no. He called the owner of the Mavs and he said, what do you think about us trading Luka? The owner laughed in his face and hung up the phone. And he said, all right, he didn't say no. Fuck it. Here we go. Send him to LA.
Jordan
just hit my desk so hard my camera flipped upside down.
Jordan was going crazy right there. That's how upset he was.
No, I'm okay with it being a D. I just wanted to make a case for the fact that giving Luka the Supermax was going to set the franchise back 5 years.
I'm putting him below Caruso.
10 years now.
He's behind Caruso right now.
The contract would have set him back 5. This trade set him back 10.
I agree.
Traded, and I'm not kidding. They traded. Nobody will debate me on this, I don't believe. A top 5 player in the NBA.
Yeah, top 3. He's the second best player in the NBA.
For a center that's going to give you out of 82 games, maybe 50.
No, that's false.
He'll give you 60 to 70.
He's been playing a lot more lately. Move on to the next guy.
We'll move on to another trade that potentially another S tier possibility. You got De'Aaron Fox headed to the Spurs. Talk about a duo with Wemby. The Spurs get De'Aaron Fox and Jordan McLaughlin, which Jordan McLaughlin played a decent amount in the NBA game so far, so he's serviceable if you need him in a late playoff push if people get hurt. This is also when the Sacramento Kings get Zach Lavine, a first-round pick that's a top 14 protected by Charlotte. Charlotte might keep that. A 25 second-round pick, a 27 first-round pick, and then 2 more second-round picks in 2028, and a first-round pick in 2031. And then we'll get to the Bulls later because they got shit. So, S tier, De'Aaron Fox, right? We all agree with that?
Yes.
Do you think this is a better trade than the Cat to the Knicks? I think so.
Yeah, because you paired a young star with your new young star.
Obviously,
Cat is older than De'Aaron Fox.
It's close, though, because the Knicks really were they're not too far off of a championship, and I think that Cat made them obviously a hell of a lot closer.
Yeah,
so
the Spurs are just they're doing the steps to move into the right direction. Like, hey, Wemby, watch. And then they drafted Stephon Castle, too, who's another good star. So, I think they're moving in the right direction.
For the future, I do think that De'Aaron Fox is better than that trade, is better than the Cat trade. Right now, I think it's damn near even. If you're looking at just everything all together, a championship now or later, all together, it's fucking even.
Now, who's going to have a better record? The Knicks, obviously, they have better players on their roster, but
they're better right now. The Spurs are building for later.
Yes. Zach Lavine to the Kings, reunited again 3 months later with DeMar DeRozan. Where do you got that?
Are we looking at the Kings or the Bulls? Put him with DeMar. You know what? They're both on the Kings. Put them both in D.
Well, listen. The Kings in totality, in losing De'Aaron Fox, still have a decent roster over there. Obviously, these individual trades aren't going to accumulate to where I think it should be, if that makes sense.
Put them in C. They got 3 first-round picks with Zach Lavine.
I don't mind that. Zach Lavine's always going to be a dude that you're excited to watch. Never going to be a dude that's going to carry your team to the playoffs. So, shout out Zach. Next, we can do this one real quick. It's the Bulls that got Zach Collins, Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter. That's only shooting 20% from 3 this year. And he's going to have a player option for $17 million next year. which obviously he's going to accept. I'm cool with throwing them an F because guess what? The Bulls, once again, aren't trading for a lot of draft capital by getting rid of all these key players. They got 1 first-round pick.
That's insane. F, absolutely all the way through.
So shout out to the Bulls having a C tier and 2 Fs so far.
Yeah, also shout out to our guy DJ Rye on his cousin Jordan McLaughlin getting traded to the Spurs. We didn't mention that with De'Aaron Fox.
I did mention it, but it's all right.
We didn't have a ranking for that. That's an S tier by itself.
Oh, just if you just had Jordan McLaughlin by himself with the Spurs? Oh, for sure. Yep. We'll move on to the Heat and the Jimmy Butler trade to where first we're going to grade the Heat getting Kyle Anderson, bum, Davion Mitchell, and Andrew Wiggins with a protected first-round pick. Now,
I will say I don't like how you said on Davion Mitchell. I heard a lot of good things about him going to Miami.
He's a really good defender.
A lot of Heat fans are very happy with that.
Yeah.
He's a good defender.
I just don't see him pushing the needle over there. You think it's a D?
Yeah, I think it's a D. They got a whole lot of nothing.
I think for what they were given, obviously Jimmy wasn't going to play. If you just kept him the rest of the season, you just eat that money away. At least you got Andrew Wiggins, which is going to be a better fit than Butler was with the Heat, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
a better
Andrew
fit.
Wiggins is like he's just a guy now. Like you just
that's what you want though, because Pat Riley and Spoelstra are trying to push Hero and Bam as the 1-2 punch, and they just want guys to be built around them. To where Wiggins kind of knows his role. That's my opinion on it. I don't think it's a bad.
I agree with you.
I don't think it's a bad trade. Just because they ripped away Andrew Wiggins from Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr was visibly distraught over that.
Yeah, he wasn't very happy.
He said, Andrew just had a son a couple weeks ago. I have one of my favorite guys ever to coach. This sucks, man. This sucks. Fuck the Heat for taking him.
I hate this dude.
Where do you go?
If you want to give it a C, I'm okay with that. But I think it's a D. Like even though you put guys with them, I just don't think they move the needle. Like I think Wiggins is just okay. Mitchell's a defender, and Kyle Anderson is just like a body.
Now you got to think their position. They're in a lose-lose situation, though.
Yeah, for sure.
No one is expecting the Heat to get better out of that because they knew they had their arms tied behind their back, how to get rid of Jimmy. Yeah. So I think they did good. Because they still got Andrew Wiggins, which is a very viable player, in my opinion.
Have you watched Andrew Wiggins this year?
Huh?
Have you watched Andrew Wiggins this year?
Yeah, he ain't that bad. He's not bad, but he's not great.
Let's move on from Andrew Wiggins because you're defending him way too much.
Do we want to grade this whole trade overall as an F because of the shit KD pulled?
He's got more rings. He's got more rings than Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, but that doesn't make you better because you got rings. Patrick McCall got like 3 rings.
This season,
3 in a row.
This season, Andrew Wiggins, 17.6 points, 5 assists, and
he's not shooting a bad clip. 44%, 45%.
Just kidding. 2 assists, 5 rebounds, and he's shooting 44.4.
Yeah, that's pretty good for Andrew.
37.9 from 3.
I guess for a number 2 option, if that's good, sure.
He's a number 3 now.
Is Buddy Hield the number 2?
No, Buddy Hield's not the number 2. It was Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah. Is Buddy Hield better?
No. Jimmy B to Golden State. I don't think that pushes the needle. Obviously, they get a good player. What's going to be worse is the contract that he'll sign and that he's going to get. It's going to end at the same time Steph ends and ends at the same time Draymond's ends. So they're going all in a sense, with Jimmy Butler. Yeah. Not a big fan of the trade.
I'm cool with
I think it's a D. I think it's a D. I don't think he's fit at all.
I think the Heat won the trade.
They got a better payout from the trade.
Because they knew they weren't going to keep him.
I still thought their trade was a D, but I do think it's better than that. It's like Jimmy, they paid him, they gave him an extension, 2 more years, $120 million. He doesn't shoot threes. I mean, he's always like Jimmy Butler has shown to be a bad teammate.
He doesn't fit the Steph system.
Yeah, he doesn't fit the Steph system, and like I know some people think Jimmy Butler's just like a passionate player, but like he doesn't seem like a good teammate at all.
Now think of the Warriors now and think of their spacing issues that they're going to have. They're going to have a lot of spacing issues. Jimmy's he's a good player, just doesn't fit that system at all, in my opinion. I think that's a bad trade.
I agree.
Especially for the contract he's going to get. I'm cool with D.
2020 NBA Finals, Jimmy.
You cool with D?
Yep.
Jordy?
Yep.
Okay. Then we got a guy that a lot of people were hyped up for in Los Angeles when they traded for Mark Williams until they figured out, oh wait, that's when AD put up 40 and 20 on him. What?
Yeah, but that's AD.
We got our first Dennis Schroeder sighting right before that, sir.
Jesus Christ. Keep
Are
going.
you?
Just
I mean,
to say that we got our first Dennis Schroeder. I'm going to go through the timeline as we go.
No,
Dennis
let's
Schroeder.
finish this. I'm ready to go
Dennis
upstairs.
Schroeder is now on the Jazz. In our timeline of events, Dennis Schroeder. Hey, best thing to come out of Germany since you know when. Just kidding. Don't put that in the video.
That's in the video. I'm not timestamping this.
Not Bryce Mitchell. I don't agree with him.
You going or what? What are you doing?
I just wanted to say, there we go. Dennis Schroeder also included, now on the Jazz.
Cool. Mark Williams to the Lakers. Good young player. Injuries prevented him from playing a lot of games, and he's inconsistent. But his highs are really high, his lows are really low. But they, like I said, they're building for the future here, we're assuming. 23-year-old center that can play ball, but obviously not as good as AD at the moment.
I give it an A.
I give it a B simply because he's missed over 50% of the games that he's been on a team for in the NBA.
Similar to Joel Embiid.
Yeah, but Joel Embiid has missed 50% of the games, but if he gets traded to a team right now, we're going to give it an S, aren't we?
Oh, he's way better than Mark Williams.
Yeah, because you can trust him a little more.
I think that he's not played in 60% of the games since he's been in the league.
But listen, he is way better than Mark Williams, but January 15th, 31-13 on 86% field goal percentage, 31 points.
Sounds like you traded for a more hurt AD, which is crazy to say.
12 rebounds, 38 points, 9 rebounds on 78%, 24 points, 16 rebounds with 4 assists. Like, you can say what you want about him missing half of the games, but while he's playing, he's producing.
Yeah, they got a more injury-prone Anthony Davis.
Inconsistent.
Not necessarily, though.
Anthony Davis.
Inconsistent. His highs like that, like you're reading off, they're great. But there's games to where he's played terrible. But he's also 23.
With a team, though, that doesn't play to his strengths. When you have Luka and LeBron, you're going to be picking and rolling and just catching alley-oops. He's going to average 15 and 15 just off of alley-oops. He's
First 20 games of the season, he was inactive. His first 2 games back, he scored 4, had 3 rebounds, had scored 6, had 5 rebounds. 4-12 had 5 rebounds.
Minutes
15 had
probably.
9, 7 had 3, 16 had 5. And he did not dress in a game in between there.
And if you think for any reason at all that LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller compares to Luka Doncic and LeBron James, you are smoking the greatest pack of all time. He's about to be with 2 of the best players in the NBA now. That dude is going to produce numbers. He doesn't have to do much anymore. All he has to do is roll. I mean, you can't predict injuries, though. Everybody gets hurt. Luka's hurt right now.
Yeah.
Like, he's not even playing.
That's only an A-tier trade to me. I should have made that argument.
Like AD, they literally.
Luka's fat. Luka's hurt. This is
2 players that are hurt got traded.
The Mavs won that trade realistically.
Hey, 2 dudes who've been wearing street clothes for the last 3 days got traded. While Mark Williams was dropping 31 and 13.
I got him to B
out for 20 games.
I got him to B to A. What do you guys got?
A.
B. Fuck him.
Fit for what he can do for them. It's a great fit for the team, too. They lost AD, and they got a dude who can just catch lobs and rebound. That's all they need. They got Luka and LeBron now.
We'll put him...
That sounds like somebody that we need.
We'll put him top of B right now. The other half of the trade is when the Hornets got Dalton Knecht, Cam Reddish, a 2031 first-round pick, and a 2030 pick swap.
I think they won that trade.
I think that's a B for them.
Obviously, Cam Reddish not in the long-term plan. Knecht is, but Knecht is also older than Mark Williams, which is weird to think about.
Like 25 or 26.
Mark Williams has been in the league. This is his 3rd year. So Where do you guys think for that?
I give it a B. I think they did good.
Above or below Mark?
I think it's better. I think
out of them.
the Hornets they won that trade over the Lakers, I think. By a little bit.
I don't think they won.
Because
I don't think they get better.
We'll put them behind the B tier one, behind Mark, because I'm going B here.
So let me ask you this, Jordan. You think Dalton Knecht and Cam Reddish will make the Charlotte Hornets better than Mark Williams will make the Lakers?
Yeah. Availability.
Oh, yeah, no. Availability. Cam Reddish is always hurt. Always.
I ain't worried about his ass. He sucks.
No, he doesn't.
He's all right.
He's all right.
He ain't Dalton Knecht.
Dalton Knecht has been brawny this year. He's had like 2 good games.
He's another inconsistent guy too. So
he's more
also a
inconsistent
rookie
than Mark Williams. Hey,
also
put it like this.
But he's on the court more. He has more opportunity to have big games than Mark Williams because he's on the floor more than him.
You can't say that because Mark Williams has had quadruple the bigger games than him.
Mark Williams has had better games too.
Hey,
yeah,
by far.
He's had more opportunity to have big games.
All right, we'll move on to February 6th, to where Brandon Ingram
trade of all time
went to Toronto.
All-star play-in team.
Ingram went to Toronto, and the Pelicans get Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, and a first-round pick and a second-round pick. Brandon Ingram, Toronto. Where you got?
I got a B for that.
Wow, you just went from the 9 seed to the 8 seed. Woo!
I mean, listen, Toronto has a lot of holes. Like, getting one player don't always make a lot of teams better. Like, you could say that about Charlotte. Dalton Knecht and Cam Reddish is like, oh, you guys are going from the 9 to the 8 seed. Like, it ain't gonna move the needle. But Brandon Ingram's a good player, bro. He can give you 25 a night. You got with him with RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes, and Emmanuel Quickly. They got a lot of young talent over there. Brandon Ingram is still young. Like, dude, I know it seems like he's been in the league forever, but he's like 27, probably 28.
Where do you got BI? B?
B.
We'll put him in B. Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, first round pick, second round pick.
C.
C or D?
I give it a C. A C. I'll give it a C.
Maybe they knew BI wasn't going to come back, so they at least got picks out of it. But Bruce Brown's serviceable player, but only really serviceable on a contender. We'll move on to a really weird trade that I never would have drawn up in even 2K to think about it.
New big 3 in Milwaukee.
We got Chris Middleton headed to Washington, while Kyle Kuzma is headed to Milwaukee. And shout out Knicks. Knicks were a part of the trade. They're not going to be ranked here.
F for the Wizards for Middleton.
Yeah. I don't mind that one. The Wizards obviously just got Chris Middleton, and that was it. Chris Middleton ain't going to do anything for you. He's not even going to be in your future. Dumb trade, might be honest.
He's done, bro.
Kyle Kuzma is a worse Chris Middleton.
No, man, get out of here. Kyle Kuzma is better than Chris Middleton right now.
Right now, give me Kuzma right now over. Kuzma's a champ. He knows what it takes. Also, you know what I'm saying.
Listen, bro, he had a game winner in an NBA playoff game. Even though Middleton has carried playoff games while Giannis was hurt.
Milwaukee did get Kuzma and Jericho Sims. Sims is not going to get a lot of PT, I don't think, but the Knicks got DeLon Wright. So
the only thing that makes me mad about Chris is how he spells his name. Why is it a K with a H? It should be a C with a H or a K just straight into the R.
Let that man live.
Kuzma, Milwaukee.
Chris Middleton is just better than Kyle Kuzma.
No,
I disagree. Only for the reason being. Listen. He's the third option where they have to account for Lillard and Giannis. That's going to give you so many open looks to where when you're on the Wizards, they're only.
You got to account for Jordan Poole, bro.
I
couldn't say that with a straight face. But statistically, Chris Middleton does. He scores 3 less points a game and has 2 less rebounds, but in every field goal percentage stat there is, and assists and steals and blocks, he is better than Kyle Kuzma. just not as available. He's played 9 less games. Neither one have played more than 32.
As Chris Middleton should. He's an ISO guy that sits at the wing ready for a 3 or to drive back in. He doesn't spend a lot of time on offense exerting energy.
So is Kuzma a D?
And he's an old bastard.
Because it's like, why did you do this?
I give Kuzma a C and I give Middleton an F.
Yeah, Middleton we have at F. Kuzma, I'm fine with C or B.
You had a dude that was the number 1 option on a team. Even though they were bad, he was their number 1 option. And then you had a dude who's, I think Kuzma was, he was even there as a number 1 before Jordan Poole was there.
Yeah, I agree. I think Jordan Poole probably took over the number 1. I think he attempted more shots too, but he's also a gunner.
And it's 1A. And listen, just because you shoot more don't make you the number 1 though.
True, but Jordan Poole thinks he's the number 1.
Right. Like I'll give them 1A, 1B. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think Kuzma makes the Bucks better than they were with Chris Middleton. And
agreed.
I think the Wizards stay the same.
And he's going to give you better defense.
Yeah. I think it's a C for them.
C? We'll throw him C. We'll throw him above Josh.
One more S tier in this list.
We might be the last one.
We have one more S tier.
Last trade we're gonna grade here, and the Cleveland Cavaliers get DeAndre Hunter when they were also hoping to maybe get I think Mikal Bridges' ex-teammate. Why can't I think of his name? Cam
Johnson.
Cam Johnson. They kind of wanted him as well. That didn't work out. They ended up with DeAndre Hunter. Also, really good player. They get rid of Karis Levert, George Niang, and 3 second-round picks in 2 swaps. So, as a Cavs fan, I'm just going to say, before you go, I am kind of sad to see Levert go. I'm a big fan of Levert, but he is very inconsistent. Very inconsistent. Niang?
Mr. Roulette Wheel.
Niang, I'm sorry, brother. Yeah, I did not like watching you play at all for the Cavs.
Listen, I'm going to keep it real with you. I know everybody has a person that's at the professional level that you see and you say to yourself, delusionally, of course, if he can be on this floor, I can. Georges Niang is that person for me. Like, when I see him play basketball, like, I say to myself, I can do that.
He looks like a dude from the Y that is out of shape on a basketball court and is terrible.
Yeah. No, he's 6'7", 230, which makes all the difference there. I'm 6'4", 190, but and if he came to my local rec, he'd probably give me 90 points.
Nah, bro, you were throwing oops to Willie Cauley-Stein. He never did that.
For sure, bro. I'm getting my points, but he go get his too. But needless to say, he's about as sloppy as a bag of Doritos that you crushed up. But
I'm getting a D for the Hawks, in my opinion.
The Hawks got a D. I give the Cavs an A. I don't think
it's I think it's an A. I think it's an A. I mean, if you're going like maybe scheme fit wise, obviously we don't know how it's going to work out. We're just assuming DeAndre Hunter's going to take that role and being like, hey, you might not get as many shots as you were on Atlanta when Jalen, what's his name, that got hurt.
Jalen Johnson
got hurt. He was getting more shots since he was out. You're not going to get as many shots now with this team because we play, Spurs basketball, real basketball, where you pass around, get the open look, and you're playing for the win. So as long as he buys in, that's an amazing trade. Amazing trade for the Cavs. As long as he stays consistent.
I think he'll buy in because he was already a third option at one point in his career. Multiple times in his career, honestly, when they had Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, even though Trae Young was hurt. And even in college, he was actually the third option at Virginia. Kyle Guy was actually the number 1 option on that team when they were in college. Kyle Guy was a dog. And then
Sacramento
Ty
legend.
Jerome. Yeah, and then Ty Jerome was actually like the number 2 option. DeAndre Hunter was just a really good complementary player to those two. So I think it's a great trade for the Cavs. 3-and-D guy, he can get you points. Only reason I can't give it an S is because I just don't put him on the same level as Luka, Karl Anthony Towns, and De'Aaron Fox. Now, for the team, it does very well.
Scheme.
I do think that if he's going to go in A tier, he would be top of the A tier. I think he helps the Cavs more than Russ helps the Nuggets, or Andy helps the Cavs more than any of those players, or picks helps the Nets.
I agree.
So just to cover it real quick, I'm going to go over the top 3 S tiers. Obviously, Luka, De'Aaron Fox, and Cat. Only S tiers, we agree.
Yep.
A tier, DeAndre Hunter, Russell, Westbrook, and the Nets when they got 3 players that they're not going to care about, but 5 first-round picks for Mikal. Do we want to keep everyone there in A?
Yeah, I also wanted to say when it comes to DeAndre Hunter, it helps the Cavs too because you're getting now Okoro out of the starting lineup, and he's going to come
Maybe.
off the bench and play great defense off the bench.
It depends
That's
how they
gonna
want to
be-
run it. They might have DeAndre
Yeah.
Hunter come off the bench, playing still 30-ish minutes, but able to put up buckets for you guys off the
And put
bench.
him off the
You
bench
could.
with his old teammate Ty Jerome. I ain't gonna
Yeah.
lie, that would be crazy too.
Cavaliers to Cavaliers, baby.
I like that. Damn, I see you, Austin Carr.
And then B tier, we don't want to move anybody. Mark Williams, the Knecht Hornets trade, the Mikal trade, Dillingham to Timberwolves, and then the Lakers with Dorian and Shake, and then Toronto with BI. You keeping
The
those all
Lakers got
there?
an S tier and a 2B tiers. That's crazy.
Dorian might
And
be
they're
a
still
C
good.
looking at it, but still good fit for the Lakers. But I think if we spend a lot of time, I think we'd move some stuff around. We're already on our end, so I think we're going to end the video, for everyone watching. But looking at our list, what would you change? And do not say the Mavericks with Anthony Davis, because we're not changing that. It might go lower, in my opinion. Shout out to the Bulls, being terrible year after year and not doing anything with their key players that they got rid of. You got rid of Lavine
go
and
back.
DeMar DeRozan. Lavine and DeMar DeRozan, you get nothing. You get
Y'all
some
had 6
draft
years of
picks.
the second best player in the league.
Terrible. But
So
anything
bad.
you guys want to say before we piece it out here?
Shout out to
Lakers.
Dennis Schroeder.
The
4
Lakers
teams,
said see you in
24
the finals. 4 teams in 24 hours. Lakers see you in the
Warriors,
finals.
Heat, Jazz, Pistons. Currently on the Pistons. Shout out his real estate agent. Shout out U-Haul. And shout out Dennis Schroeder.
If you're still watching this, join our Discord, link in the description of the video. And are you with us there? Or in the comments. We'll talk to you both places. Hopefully you join our Discord and we talk a little bit NBA, NFL throughout the whole season. So let us know, comment, like, subscribe. It means a lot. It means the world to us. We love it. It gets us freaking bricked up sometimes.
Love that shit.
Till next time. Donte, you
When
introduced
did,
us. What? Huh?
When did Marcus Smart go to the Wizards? Hey guys,
Yeah,
thanks for joining.
he did go to the Wizards. They said new duo, Chris Middleton and Marcus Smart. I mean,
Yeah,
I didn't add
literally
that
seen it.
trade,
It
but I saw it.
says-
I said no one cares about Marcus Smart anymore.
No, they don't. I just didn't know it happened. Everybody said, "Who's stopping this duo?"
And
That was fun.
if you think we
Tell us
missed,
about your new team.
oh okay. Where'd they send me again? I just got done playing a game. I forgot.
I have CTE, bro. I don't remember.
Bogdanovich got traded. No longer with my Atlanta Hawks. I just wanted to get traded to Denver. I was playing over in the Olympics with Jokic. We almost won that thing. We almost beat Team USA. I was talking shit to Carmelo Anthony on the sideline. I'm a better shooter than he ever was. That dude's a bum. But I do want to say I'm excited for my new opportunity. I'm going to get a lot more shots. I deserve a lot more shots. I'm the best shooter in the league. I don't think anyone can compete with me. Not even that sorry ass guy named Steph Curry over there, that old ass guy. He ain't going to outshoot me. Let's go win a championship.
Hell yeah.
You
Bogdan.
guys heard it here first. See you guys another day.
I'm wearing a Jimmy Butler jersey saying that. Peace out.